Again, my name is Rose and I'm going to be doing some plank work today. That will be our focus. The importance of it, proper planking, form, some special cues to help you stay out of those wrists. A lot of us like to get heavy into the wrists and then that doesn't make planking very fun. We'll come on over to our quadruped position here. We want to find our shoulders right over the wrist, the knees are right under the hips. We want to see that we have a 90-degree hip and knee, and then pull those shoulder blades away from each other. So we're like pushing that floor away from us. Elbows aren't necessarily locked out. We don't want that either. They need to be just a tiny bit soft. That doesn't mean bend. From here, we're just going to do a cat-cow stretch. So we're going to exhale, round the spine, eyes look toward those thighs. We push the belly button up toward the spine and then we reverse. We take the tailbone back behind us and the heart lifts forward. It's not necessarily about a neck thing here, right? Exhale, we round the spine, scoop the belly button, we'll look at those thighs. And again, going into spine extension. Exhale, round the spine. And there we go. All right, so somewhere in between there, we're gonna find our nice neutral spine. We're just gonna do one little plank here. Just wherever you go, we're gonna do that, and I want you to feel. Just feel, what does it feel like to you? Okay, so we're gonna step one foot back, and then we're gonna step the other. Notice how everything feels. What's happening with your wrists? What's happening with the elbows, the shoulders, your front of the thighs, so what's happening there? Your glutes, your abs, your ribs. Think about all of that stuff. What's happening with your neck? Are you looking up? Are you looking straight down? Just kind of think about it. One more deep breath, and then we're gonna lower the knees and pull back into what we call child's pose. We have that first plank out of the way. Now I'm gonna cue some things here, and we're gonna try it again. That we want our weight more toward the pinky side of the palm, not directly in the center. As we're spiraling that humerus head back and down into the shoulder blades. You should then feel a little muscle right back up in here. That is your serratus anterior. It wraps around underneath the armpit and into those ribs, kind of like a serrated knife. Okay, so what we're gonna do there is strengthen those muscles, and that is the key to staying out of the wrists. For quadruped first, find that weight more toward the pinky side of the palm, right? To then feel like that humerus head kind of locks in place into that scapula or shoulder bone. And then from here, we're gonna step one leg back and then the other. And notice how that feels. Hopefully you're feeling a lot more shoulder and less wrist. Keep holding. And if it's harder, take a break. That's okay. It's better to have good form than hold on to this for too long. Keep holding. 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Nicely done. So I think we've kind of figured out the wrists. I want to think about our abdominals and our quads. So front of the thighs. We want to think nice and active, like those knees are straight, almost as if those are going to be locked in place. Okay, the knees locked in place. The abs are going to be hugging around the torso, and you should feel that rib tightening up as well, because again, we're using that serratus anterior that kind of comes into those ribs. Here we go, quadruped. Find your weight toward the pinky side of the hand. Eyes looking down, so we have a nice long neck. We take the right leg back, get that quad or front of the thigh nice and straight, and then glute squeezes. Take the left leg back and hold here. Think about that belly button. It's pulled up and in, kind of toward the ribs. Those ribs are nice and tight. Should feel like a lot of work here. Keep holding on to it. Hold, 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 deep breaths. This should put you in that perfect plank. So we're not in our mountain. We're not in our back. We're nice and strong. Hold, hold, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. I started getting a little shaky on that, but you know what? My wrists are feeling pretty good. So we can go ahead and still stretch those out, maybe bring backs of the hands together, just kind of Stretch that out, wiggle it around, but hopefully you're not feeling all of that discomfort that maybe you have in the past. Okay, I go into side plank. We're going to start on our forearm. Set up here, always very important for setup. We want elbow directly underneath that shoulder. We're also using that same serratus anterior muscle here for this plank, okay? The hand is directly out from the elbow, palm is down into the floor, okay? From here, modified, that bottom knee can be bent, top leg is stacked right on top of that knee. Hips are stacked, so we don't want to be leaning forward or leaning back, okay? We want those shoulders stacked. Top arm is going to rest here on the hip for this first one, and we're just going to come up into a side plank, and again, just notice how everything feels. Holding, deep breaths. Notice what you're feeling, which muscles. If you're shaky, that's okay. 3, 2, 1, and lower it down. Okay, strong shoulder. We weren't sinking into this, right? Because that puts a lot of pressure on muscles and tissue that doesn't need that pressure. All right, so we're strengthening shoulder here, rotator cuff muscle as well. Okay, and then we're feeling those intercostals, those rib muscles, as well as serratus anterior on these lower ribs. We feel our obliques on the upper side, and then the hips on the lower side are working, as well as inner thighs. Okay, we're gonna do this again. This time, if that was easy, we're gonna try straightening out the bottom leg. You can either cross them or straddle them or stack them, your choice. Here we go, lifting up, we hold. Top hand can even reach up toward the ceiling if you would like to. Wobbles are okay, little shakes are okay. Stay strong. Keep feeling those underside ribs. Hold, hold, hold. Deep breaths, inner thighs working. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carefully lower down. Nicely done. We will switch ourselves around to the other side. Planking is a great way to work out every day. It doesn't take very long. So if you're finding it hard to find time to work out, just do a plank or do a series of planks and then move on with your day. Works on strength and stability of that core. Okay, here we can start with that knee bent, hips are stacked, shoulders stacked, elbows directly underneath that shoulder, palm down, and we're gonna take it up into that side plank. Hold here. Again, we wanna feel those muscles just underneath the armpit, connected to the ribs, and then intercostals around the ribs. Opposite obliques are nice and tight here. Holding, deep breaths. That inner thigh is working. 3, 2, and 1, and lower it down. Also know, you don't have to hold a plank for minutes or hours. I don't personally have time to do that. But if you're doing form correctly, you're gonna get a lot out of the plank. It doesn't take very long to hold it, to get work out of it and to get successes. If that was easy with the knee bent, you're gonna take both legs straight, decide straddled or stacked, and away we go. Holding here, deep breaths. Hold, hold, hold. Notice differences between the sides. For me, I'm feeling a little bit more shaky on this side. What does that mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just side body integration. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and lower down. Nicely done. Okay, so we got our side planks down. We're gonna do a forearm. We're gonna find those elbows just underneath the shoulders. We're gonna either make a fist and put those fists down into the floor. We're not bringing our hands together on this one. We wanna keep our hands parallel to each other. And then from here, we're curling our toes under. You can start up here on your knees. And then from there, we're gonna take and lift those knees. Again, our shoulder blades are away from each other. We're pushing down into the floor, not sinking into it, okay? So we're strong, front of the thighs are strong. I'm feeling this quiver. A little earthquake, you got it. 3, just notice what's happening. 2, and 1, lower down. Pay attention to our form again, right? So we got that first one out of the way. How can we make this second one better? Can you get those thighs more active? Can you get the glutes more active? As well as those abs, can you get them to start quaking like an earthquake feeling? To that forearm position, palms down or fists, and then we're gonna lift those legs. We wanna think of our body as a plank of wood, and we're parallel to the floor. We're holding deep breaths. Hold, hold, hold. That belly button's pulled up and in toward the ribs. We're holding. Keep holding. 5, 4, 2, and 1. Lower down. Great job. And pull back, child's pose. Very good. Maybe a gentle shake yes and no with your head. We are going to do a reverse plank. That might be new to you. If you have shoulder injuries, this is one that I would suggest sitting out. It's going to be contraindicated for you, puts a lot of pressure on the front of the shoulder. So sit this one out if you have shoulder injuries. You can keep working on all the others. You should be good. All right, from here, we are going to take those hands back behind us. All right, we want to take those feet and we're going to start to walk them out to where our knees can be straight. Maybe a slight bend. Okay. Tips can either face back behind you, or some people like to turn those fingertips and face them toward their feet. First, we're just going to do one of those where we just feel how stuff feels and figure out what way we want our hands to face. And then I'm going to engage my abs, press down into the floor, squeeze my glutes, and I'm going to lift up. I'm going to think about looking toward the ceiling, holding here. Heels are down into the floor. We're holding. 5. We're not feeling low back stuff here. 2, 1, and sit yourself down. Okay, so notice how that felt. If you were feeling those wrists, maybe try turning your hands the other way this time. See if that makes a difference. We're shoulder distance here. Inhale, exhale, lift up, engaging those glutes and abs. Front of the thighs are active. Eyes are looking toward the ceiling. Hold, 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 deep breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Woo, I am feeling that. I kind of like it this way with my fingers toward my feet. And then again, we're going to tighten up through the front of the abs, engage the glutes, thighs are active. Inhale, exhale, lean back, push the floor away, and we're lifting up. Again, we're not getting into the low back. If you feel pinchiness in the low back, maybe you're not coming up as high on this. That's okay. Modify as needed so you feel the abs, the glutes, shoulders are strong. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Take those hands, reach them up overhead. Exhale, lean forward, take a forward spine stretch. Just to make sure if we started to get any tightness in the back, we're going to release it here. And then we'll sit up nice and tall, roll the shoulders down and back. Okay. Let's continue to work on that roll down and roll up, just because why not? Hands reach up overhead, inhale, exhale, we scoop, we lower down. Try to keep those heels to the floor. We're not tightening up in the hamstring, hip flexors. We're lowering one vertebrae at a time. Head is going to come down last. Inhale at the bottom, exhale. Start by bringing that chin toward the chest. The low back presses down. We lift the shoulder blades. We keep coming up. Rectus abdominals are working here. Hip flexors are soft. And then we're going to reach. That should keep those heels down. Reach forward. Inhale. Sit up tall. Exhale. We roll back down. We're going to do this a few times. Inhale. Exhale. Remembering we're not using those hip flexors until we come into that forward spine stretch. Sit up tall. My back is popping. That's okay. That means I'm getting some movement through those vertebrae. That's how we create space and keep those discs nice and healthy. It's by moving through all of those vertebrae. That's why it's so important. All right, we're gonna do one more for extra credit. Here we go. Great abdominal exercise here. Inhale, exhale. Round up, reach forward. We sit up nice and tall. Exhale the arms out to the sides. Roll those shoulders down and back. We're gonna take our knees underneath our hips, hands underneath our shoulders. We'll finish up with our cat-cow stretch. And just notice how your cat-cow feels this time. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, reverse. Hopefully your spine feels a little looser. We'll do a couple more. Ideally, once you get the strength and that roll down developed, you're gonna start to really notice how it does loosen up the back. All right, very good. Well, enjoy the planking. Again, it's a great way to get a good workout in, full body strength. It's isometric. Eventually, maybe we can start adding movement. This is kind of a beginner. Maybe later, I'll do another video that has some movements that we can do to make it more challenging. But right now, important part is just get that good form. Doesn't matter how long you hold it. If you're not holding it as long as I was in this video, that's okay. A 10-second perfect plank, great. Slowly start to build on that, all right? Get a timer, challenge yourself. Use it as a competitive piece if you're competitive. Like, be safe, be healthy, and have a great day. Thanks, see you next time.